This Super Wildcard Weekend DFS Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100, get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the SGPN NFL Playoff Challenge. $500 in cash and prizes up for grabs exclusively on the SGPN app.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. No, it's playoff week, Sean.
Playoffs?
Where's the intensity?
Playoffs? Still got a little bit of a Vegas voice left over, Ryan, but power.
It's amazing how they pump both perfume, oxygen, and smoky carcinogens throughout their cavernous.
It was the casino that was pumping smoky oxygen into your lungs, Ryan. It was the casino.
Hey, look, I see the way of the world now. You don't take accountability. Look,
no, you do. You pass it on.
Someone was smoking a cigarette very close to me and attempting to perform mouth to mouth on me. It was disgusting. Got all over my face. My clothes.
Wow, there's like 5 different drops in there. Hey. We're coming to you live, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Chat is alive and well. Chris Morrison. Hello, as always, from Canada, boys. LFG. Love Canada. Great country. Vancouver, awesome city. Toronto, awesome city. Got a bunch of listeners up north. Shout out to Kyle, Vikings fan, of course. Jeff the Arctic Fox.
We are
from the MMA podcast.
We are a friend of the North.
Yes, we are the North. ZD Mills checking in, fellas. ZD Mills, of course. Ryan, we should be asking him his picks. He is the one who won the free roll football challenge.
Oh, you know what? I'm sure he's already been rewarded, but we might have one of those old SGPN belts lying around.
We ZD Mills. We'll figure out how to get you a trophy. Hopefully, and he also won a 2-night stay at the beautiful Wynn in Las Vegas. Hopefully, it ends up being one of the days we're out there as well, Ryan. Get to hang out, crack a cold one in person. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk DFS Millie Maker for Saturday, DFS Millie Maker for Sunday. That would be really awesome to go back to back Millie Makers. If I win the first Millie Maker, first order of business, max entry on the second Millie Maker.
I mean, and there's only what 6 quarterbacks. So I mean, the permutations are going to get super silly.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, what does those max entries things do when you only have 6 quarterbacks?
Well, I would imagine like you're playing all the optimal permutation of like the crazy onslaught.
But there's got to be a lot of permutations where you're just leaving a ton of salary on, right? If you're
I think you're also probably not like you're probably limiting yourself to. I would imagine you don't want to play all the quarterbacks. I would imagine you want to. Yeah, I don't know. To your point, I think there would be lineups that would have to like either be strangely uncorrelated or just not spend all the money. I mean, I was legit having hard times spending the money with certain combinations of players, and I found myself having to upgrade. Like, I wonder if I got to a worse place just because I wanted the pieces to fit better.
Well, normally on the full Sunday slate, I do kind of go out of my way to use the salary. And I think in both of mine,
I had 2,900 left.
Yeah, that you fucked up, Ryan.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I reconfigured the ship. Lasers are focused.
We're in playoff mode. If you're in playoff mode, looking to get down on Super Wild Card Weekend, 6 NFL games you can bet on. Of course, head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. New to WynnBet, bet $100, get $100. State restrictions apply on that one, but So many ways to win over at WynnBet, including the Wynn Build Your Own Bet. Get the hammer and nails app. Get the parlay spinning. I feel like Noah when he put together that arc.
It's been a while.
Where instead of 2 of every animal, it's 2 of every anytime touchdowns, 4 tight ends. That's the arc I'm building, Ryan. An arc that's going to float me to thousands upon thousands of dollars. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WynnBet, WynnBet. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older. And present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And of course, make sure you sign up for our SGPN NFL Playoff Challenge. Again, we're giving away $500 in cash and prizes. $300 cash, $100 SGPN gift card, $100 homage gift card to the winner. Check them out over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/homage. I'm wearing my sweet Ryan, and if you could please cut over to my camera.
Oh, looking
so
very
I can
good.
show off this sweet ass. It's Eagles, Grateful Dead with the vet there.
We got to make a
It's
note.
really awesome.
Next upgrade to the studio is cameras that I can remote control from right here. Little joystick, like just being able to zoom in and out, move the. Well, continue the promotion because this.
Yes, Ryan also rocking his suite. They have a ton of awesome
look
throwback retro stuff, even like video game, even like pop culture stuff.
Clearly not a fashion guy, but I do wear a lot of hooded sweatshirts, a lot of hoodies, and I hard for me to remember one that is more comfortable.
Wow, we got a hot take in the chat, Ryan. T. Sims.
No, it's not comfortable.
No, upset of the week. Seattle beats San Francisco by 3.
I heard a notable, very well followed handicapper of the internet come out with a strong take for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not going to name names because it's not worth it. I don't want to draw any attention to this horrible mailed in handicapping.
Okay.
Let's just say they're probably distracted by the Australian Open or something like that. It's not, and it's not Billy, but I think at this point, most smart people I've listened to have indeed found a way to suggest that San Francisco is the side. And so I think it's a super hot take. I don't think Seattle has a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think
the more that I look at
it, I think Seattle has a shot because it's a team playing. It's tough to cover against a team 3 times in division. And
normally I would agree, but not in this case.
No, I do think the Brock Purdy Cinderella story comes to an end at some point. I don't think it's this week, but I'd be more surprised. I don't know. I think Seattle winning and Miami pretty close as far as biggest upset of the weekend.
So, but here's why I disagree. Cause I think the Dolphins figuring out some sneaky offensive game plan and the defense showing up is much more likely than all of a sudden the Seattle team. Like we saw the best of them and we saw the whole thing slide down the hill. And yeah, I don't see it. I'm completely out on the idea of Seattle having a chance. So maybe I'm jinx. Is that a jinx? I don't believe in that shit anymore.
No.
Ever since that person on the internet said, don't take Giselle's name out your mouth. I don't believe in any supernatural forces, jinxes, curses, none of it.
All right, here
Reverse
we go.
Jinxes.
Chat is alive and well. Speaking of that very game, that is my quarterback for the Saturday slate. I took Brock Purdy, $5,500. For me, it's just you create a lot of other good opportunities, and none of the quarterbacks on the Saturday slate run the ball particularly a ton. And I think you can make a case Brock Purdy could have just as many passing touchdowns as Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, and you're getting a couple. You're getting some nice salary relief. So I'm going Brock Purdy, 5,500.
I certainly understand why people think Trevor Lawrence is going to be massively owned. Because I mean, for only 200 more than Brock Purdy, I could see why people might have the opinion that that's a good price. I will say I very much have talked myself into Brock Purdy in the fantasy playoff stuff. Best ball, it was already there, but the FFPC stuff, it's like, well, shit. I mean, I understand, Sean, as an Eagles fan, you don't believe in Brock Purdy playing 4 games, but he might just have to sit there and let the automatic cruise control on the plane fly the plane. Eventually he's gonna have to land, and that's to your point. Like I do think there's
for FFBC. I guess my argument against a Purdy lineup is, how does Purdy get there and Debo Samuel or George
it gets
Kittle
spread
doesn't?
around.
Yeah, there's a world. I just don't think you have to be that cute. But who do you got for this contest?
So no cuteness here, and I'm again another game. The more that I hear other people discuss this game, the more that I'm liking my position. I don't care that Mike Williams is out. Give me Justin Herbert. And also this is a massive spot for these guys in terms of my opinion of them. Trevor Lawrence, Justin
on the line.
Trevor Lawrence.
Does Brandon Staley come in and mention this is for us? This is for the city. What's funnier, playing for the city of Los Angeles or playing for the respect of Ryan Kramer?
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. We all know who I want to win this game emotionally. But if Trevor Lawrence beats Justin Herbert in this team,
Goldilocks.
I know we can blame Brandon Staley, but we also have to go back to that age-old adage: is Justin Herbert actually a good quarterback? Justin Herbert 6,600. I didn't want to play Trevor Lawrence, and you said you were going to take Brock Purdy, and I see no reason to get cute and play Geno Smith.
Running back, I'm going Austin Eckler, 8,100. Again, he's just
chalk. So chalky in here.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a couple interesting spots to go different.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's okay to take 2 of the 3 chalk running backs. I don't think you can do. I don't think you can take McCaffrey, Eckler, and Etienne, but I think it's okay to have 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I had Eckler with you. I'll give you my second running back, and that's Etienne. I'm
also Etienne.
Yeah. So I've really talked myself into the idea that while I really like the Chargers in this game, I do think there are some versions where the Jags win, and I really like Etienne's 2-game stretch if that's the case, and they get the Chiefs next round. So we're only talking about 1 game here, and obviously the Chargers have been less than stellar defending anything. Etienne 6,000, strangely cheap. I'd imagine, kind of, if I had to guess, he might be the chalkiest of the running backs.
Yeah, I went Etienne as well. My first receiver, Keenan Allen.
Okay,
again, no Mike Williams.
Just copying my team.
No,
that's my double stack, baby.
I took Brock Purdy.
No, I know. You obviously have to play Keenan Allen in this environment. The question is, do we get Josh Palmer or do we get DeAndre Carter or Everett as the other, or Parham maybe as the other guy?
Well, Mike Williams sneakily. I'm glad I already locked in my Donald Parham anytime touchdown and touchdown parlay, Ryan, CLV. But the fact that Mike Williams gets ruled out, I think will hurt his anytime touchdown price. Still like it, but I went DeAndre Carter, $3,600. He has especially in a GPP lineup, he has like some big play potential. I think he's an interesting first touchdown. Not to tip my hand too much, but I think he's going to get some favorable matchups against, like nickel cornerback, second cornerback guys he's going to be going up against.
Yeah. So 3 Chargers.
Yep.
Just a full on onslaught. I mean, I do think the Jags Chargers game is much easier to play.
I mean, there's only 2 games, so having 3 players from 1 game isn't crazy.
You didn't do it right, Sean. You didn't do the correlation. Right.
I have DeAndre Carter. I also have Zay Jones, 4,300. What do you got for your receiver? And Zay Jones, again, he just continues to be a pretty good value. Hasn't done, or even like last game. Yeah, 6 targets, 4 catches, only 21 yards. Kind of a down game for him, but I think against the Chargers defense, some opportunities. He just clearly seems to be the number 2 guy next to Christian Kirk, even sometimes the number 1 guy, depending on the game script.
I mean, this is one of those matchups where Zay Jones would seem to have the better opportunity in terms of matchup. So, all right. So I also had Keenan Allen, as I said, double stacked with Eckler and Herbert. Then I came in with something different. I wanted to fade. I've really bought into the idea that I want to fade McCaffrey, because I do think Shanahan really likes Elijah Mitchell. And I do think Elijah Mitchell's very healthy, and I didn't have the balls to put Elijah Mitchell in the lineup as a running back. So what I did was for 5,800 and 5,700, I took Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. It kind of gives me a nice some leverage off Kittle here. Like I said, I also wanted to fade McCaffrey. Thought this was a fun way to do it. Also kind of leans into your Purdy angle. I'm curious if you stack Purdy with one of these guys. They're both very cheap, and I don't think they have much projected ownership, and they have very good matchups. And I could see them working Debo into some stuff to get some Debo plays on tape, get the next team, AKA your Philadelphia Eagles. No, they wouldn't play next round.
No.
Get them. I mean, I like this. Did you stack either of these guys with Purdy?
I went George Kittle.
Okay.
George Kittle's my stack at 5,900, and then Tyler Lockett's the bring back. Tyler Lockett's his guy. Tyler Lockett's the main reason the offense goes. Why are you making that noise, Ryan?
I like Lockett.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been doing a lot of thinking about Lockett.
Gino just goes to Tyler Lockett. I mean, you could talk me into putting in Elijah Mitchell, but then what do I do? Like, I like to play Elijah Mitchell, but I just don't.
Cute.
I don't need the salary. What do I do with that extra salary?
No, that's the other part. It's also just too cute. You would probably need to upgrade your.
If I was looking to try and get to Mike Williams, then yeah, fine, or maybe even Josh Palmer. But I don't mind DeAndre Carter.
I think if you believe the Niners are going to just smash the Seahawks and run the ball, then I think playing McCaffrey and Mitchell is okay as a way to bring. I mean, you think about it, Sean. You have McCaffrey and Mitchell. You've spent 13,200 on two running backs, so you're averaging 6,500 versus whatever you would have with McCaffrey and a more expensive guy. So maybe you could talk yourself to on a short slate playing both Niners running backs. I just don't think that's going to be the way the game goes.
Yeah, I mean,
and but to me, like that's the only way you go down there, and it makes sense. Because to your point, it's very easy to save money here. Anyway, yeah, part of the way I saved some money was my tight end triple stack with Justin Herbert. And again, we every single position we're complaining about how hard it is to be different. Give me Donald Parham, 2,700.
Oh my God!
I get it, right? Everett's,
love me some Parham.
Everett's there, but you nailed it, right? Mike Williams is a big, tall body guy who they like to go to in the red zone. They also have historically gone to Parham in these spots too. So 2,700 for my tight end, and I actually ran out two tight ends, Sean, in an attempt to be a little different in two ways. Double bring back. So I have ETN with Evan Ingram.
Wow, running out 12 personnel, right?
Yeah. So, well, Evan Ingram's basically a receiver. We all know that. But he's also turned into Trevor Lawrence's favorite target. As crazy as it sounds, 4,200. Evan Ingram.
Yeah, Donald Parham's anytime touchdown price has gone down from
really?
750 to 700.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we do know that the books listen to the show.
Yeah,
that's
obvious.
We've actually confirmed that very recently. At least three different spots. The Circa, of course.
Shout out to the legends over at Circa. Hey Ryan, let's head over to the Sunday slate. Before we do that, shout out to Underdog Fantasy, of course. Hop in their playoff best ball contest, aka the Gauntlet. $25 entry gives you a chance to win millions in prizes. That's right, $1 million in prizes up for grabs over at UnderdogFantasy.com. And if you sign up using the promo code SGPN, 100% deposit match up to $100, essentially giving yourself 4 free entries. If you don't like that contest, they have tons of other ones. They have like a $5 NFL playoff, the mitten. They also have a ton of daily NBA, NHL contests as well. So UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Sean, they also have the big mitten.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to do a lineup.
Oh wait, the big mitten has filled.
Oh really?
Actually, holy crap, the mitten has filled. The Gauntlet 2 is going to rapidly fill. Sounds like there could be a mitten 5, so stay tuned for that if you like the $5 variety. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this on a show yet, but Brock Purdy first round in a best ball draft I did last night. So
Brian Digital checking in the YouTube chat. Is this live?
Who?
No, that's it's pre-taped. I just had a feeling you would be commenting in the chat.
Yeah, no, we have methods.
Kramer,
you don't want to give out a defense?
Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead.
I know you hate defense.
For my defense, I went 49ers.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean,
obviously.
If I needed to save money, you could talk me into the Chargers defense or Seattle's defense even, but you just don't need it.
Yeah, I think the punt is Seattle. All right.
Yeah, there's 4 defenses. So.
Well, now we're going to talk about a slate with 6 defenses, Sean.
Brian Digital saying, "LOL, my dogs. I thought you guys were in Vegas. We were in Vegas yesterday. Knocked out 2 shows, flew back home, and we're here back in the LA studio. That's how much content we do.
He didn't hear me say we have methods.
Yes, we're
space and time, sir. All right, I'll go first. Come on, a rare occasion where I'm going to be chalky here with Mr. Dan Jones." Look, he didn't even use his legs a ton in the last game. He just shredded them through the air.
Can he use his legs? I know he had a serious.
But he's overcome that.
Injury.
Which the fact that he's not going to be comeback player of the year, it's a little.
I mean, the fact that he learned to walk again and that the Giants clearly weren't shutting him down to tank is just amazing.
He won, Sean. He won, and he's going to use his legs. I think you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. Nothing they did was necessarily that difficult. The interception a receiver tripped and the fumble was a fumble. You know everything, all the completions. I think there were 42 attempts from Dan Jones last time. He was just dialed in, and I think you're going to see Barkley getting involved, which means.
Are you worried? I did see some news.
What are you doing?
Evan Neal ankle injury sprung up on the practice report. How worried are you about that injury?
I mean, if we're being honest,
that's
he's not been great.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's worth discussing. He showed up.
His
on
backup
the injury
might
report.
not be a huge downgrade at this point, especially in the pass blocking game.
But they're going to be starting him. I'm just saying the fact that he's dealing with an ankle injury is worth noting. Yeah,
let's see how it goes. I think he'll have it's playoffs. I honestly think he'll have a quick leash.
Okay.
I think they surprisingly have a little bit of tackle depth this year, and I think if he comes out and he looks hurt, you're going to see him get pulled. I mean, anything else you'd like to get off your chest?
Why, Ryan? Any sort of news items related to the Giants?
No, I'm in the middle of talking about Dan Jones and a DFS lineup.
Yeah, and
you're coming out here with this hot garbage.
You mentioned throwing other people under the bus. I could see you saying, "Oh, Dan Jones would have had a good game, but Evan Neal was dealing with an ankle injury."
I take accountability. 5,600, Dan Jones. Let's fucking go.
For me, I'm going. This is an interesting slate because obviously Josh Allen for Sunday will catch an insane amount of ownership.
Can't play him.
I did have a Kirk Cousins lineup. That's pretty fun. I think actually Joe Burrow at 6,900, nice. I think that's actually not going to catch that much ownership. I think people are going to look at the price point. I think a lot of fantasy sites won't be projecting Joe Burrow very high because it's a division game. Baltimore plays a tough defense. He's not had amazing games against Baltimore, but he's also had some massive games against Baltimore. And if you're talking about winning a huge tournament, then you could go and find that Joe Burrow's, some of his career games have come against Baltimore.
I enjoy the play. I think you're also just dealing with a scenario where the other 2 game environments will almost certainly be seen as more favorable.
Yeah. I mean, it's outdoors. It's in Cincinnati. How we win $1 million is if Joe Burrow throws for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns like he did last December against that Ravens defense.
He's had a couple big games.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you look at his overall numbers and it's not great, but he's had those spike games.
This year it's been like the angle, like he's not done well when he's dropped back to pass against this Ravens team. So it's certainly contrarian for a reason, but I don't mind.
Well, and I think the fact that he is $6,900 is going to keep people.
What do you think the projected ownership is on him?
I don't know. If I had to guess, I think Josh Allen's number 1, Cousins and Daniel Jones 2, 3, and then I think he's 4th. And I think some people will probably even talk themselves into Huntley at $5,000. They'll think he's a rushing quarterback, but he really isn't.
Wow, shots fired.
No, I kind of made that mistake with Huntley before too, but he just doesn't.
Snoop. All right, yeah, you nailed it. Skylar Thompson at the bottom, underneath Huntley. So you really want to get weird. Skylar Thompson's you do a Skylar double with or maybe a Tyreek Hill, Jaceki. What was his nickname? Just sexy.
Benedict Antold pointing out a good point that, basically those massive games came against the Ravens because they blitz a ton, and when they had Wink Martindale, that's true as well. I just think as far as teams that have a chance to get to an outlier performance offensively that aren't going to catch ownership, to me, it's obviously the Bengals.
Yeah, and as someone who's watching Wink operate a defense, I don't think his defense is a dummy defense. So Burrow shredding him is pretty impressive. He is stubborn though. First stack item,
yes,
aka the chalkiest chalk on the slate. Maybe, yeah, definitely the Barkley, 7,900. Been watching hype videos all week, Sean. There was nothing getting in the way of the proverbial freight train that was me getting Dan Jones and Saquon Barkley in the lineup 1-2.
Yeah, I also took Saquon Barkley.
Oh, great pick, Sean.
This is one of the few offensive guys you want to be involved with the Giants. It's $7,900. Had a big game against the Vikings, and I expect him to be able to move the ball against them as well.
Yeah, and they're doing all you're gonna see a lot more of the gimmicky orbit motion stuff where they just get him quick passes that count as passes that are really runs. His floor is just mega. All right, running back 2.
Yep.
Do you have any Dolphins?
Yes.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yep. He's going to catch a ton of ownership as well, but for good reason. I mean, this guy's going to get an insane amount of volume. I don't see how he doesn't get 25 touches.
If Mostert plays, I'm tempted to play him.
Really?
It seems like he's not going to play at this point, but
I would not play Mostert.
I'm saying if he's active, I could see my.
I would play Salvin Ahmed before I'd play Mostert.
I take that back. I can't even swap to him because I spent that extra cash I had. All right, so we both have the same running backs. Do you also have Steph Diggs?
No.
Okay, I have Steph Diggs.
Nice.
7,700. This is a little game correlation here. Jeff Wilson Jr., Steph Diggs. Didn't really know how to play this one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a lower scoring game. So I wanted to give myself an out where, Diggs can still get home in a lower scoring game with 8 to 10 catches. We've seen them kind of narrow the focus of Josh Allen in big moments to Steph Diggs, and it works. So expect them to go there. Although Dable's not there to guide them in that direction, so we'll see. 7,700 Steph Diggs.
Oh man, you really just hung tight to the Bills Dable bit all season. It's been impressive. If you're playing Joe Burrow, you got to play his guys. I'll give out my 2 double stack: Jamar Chase and T Higgins. Rarely can you get this just sweet double stack going. T Higgins is only 6,200, so even if you're not on the Burrow stack, I think him alone is pretty interesting. He is dealing with an illness, but he's back at practice. Taping this on a Thursday, he should be good to go. And then Jamar Chase as well, just straight dog. So 8,100 for Jamar Chase. T Higgins $6,200. I think if you're going Joe Burrow, you got to play both these guys. You're crazy not to.
T Higgins had 7 targets, 1 catch, 7 yards.
Comically inefficient.
That's some Robbie Anderson shit. I also have T Higgins in there, who is the first part of another game stack that we'll get to later when we get to the flex. Also worth noting, I think if you're Baltimore, you take Chase out of the game and you deal with T Higgins doing the hard work over the middle. That seems like a logical approach. So I think T Higgins, I have massive ownership. T Higgins all over the place, spreading all over the place. All right, Dan Jones, third stack. This one bounced around until I realized how to exactly fit the puzzle pieces, and it's Mr. James. That's Richie.
Oh, okay. I also have Richie James Jr. $3,900. Right.
I think people. I wanted to find a way to play Slayton here, but it just didn't work. he is the guy. If you grind through the transcripts of the players talking, you'll find a lot of stuff referring to how much they practice the freestyle, the freelancing, and how much each guy kind of has a role. And the first read whenever Dan Jones scrambles is find Richie James over the middle. And they've done a good job with chemistry there. I think the touchdown he scored against the Vikings was Dan Jones rolling out a little bit, finding that hole in the zone. He seems to just he scores more touchdowns than he ever could have ever. This dude's having the kind of year where he's going to have to give a kickback to Mike Kafka and Brian Dable for the next contract. I mean, he was a street free agent. He can't do special teams, fumbles all the time there, but he's just reliable as a slot security blanket. 3,900 and last 8 catches last time they played.
Yeah,
it's
great spot.
3,900 for 8 catches. Come on.
I'm just laughing. There's a guy in our chat, Marv. And the only thing he said in the chat so far is I'm hammered. Marv, what are you sipping on? What do you got cracking back some? Hopefully you got some whiskey. If you're this drunk this early in the day, that's a lot of beer to put down.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, maybe he's on the East Coast, or maybe he's one of our New Zealand, Australian listeners.
Say, Sean,
we're in a whole other day.
We are worldwide, Sean.
Yeah,
could be anywhere.
So I'm with you on I co-signed Richie James. I have him playing in my flex spot.
Okay,
Didn't get the call up to the receiver spot.
Okay, so I still have a flex and a tight end to give out.
Okay, I'll give out my third receiver. I could be talked out of him, but I'm going Gabe Davis, $4,900.
I'm guessing you can't afford Diggs.
Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
No.
You were talking a lot of shit about all the money you had. Yeah, I mean, this is the time to. So in an alternate universe,
Gabe Davis is boom or bust, and you look at his game log. He has these games where he gets against the Steelers 3 for 171 and 2 touchdowns. He has multi-touchdown game. He has upside.
Well, he's the
last game against Dolphins. He had 4 for 56. So maybe if he gets one of those as a touchdown.
I mean, he had 10 targets week 18.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, only 3 catches. Again, so hilarious, inefficient play. Really phenomenal. I would love to understand what about like is he like a Kadarius Toney situation where he's not able to learn stuff? How he's a physical beast.
Yeah.
We see him have these massive games.
They seem to go out of their way to get him fed. Yeah.
But then he look at his game log this year.
No,
it's not very good.
He's a guy.
He's inconsistent.
I wouldn't take him in best ball. I wouldn't, or maybe
no. That's exactly
no. I guess like playoff best ball. I'm not drafting him, and he's hit or miss. Like in managed fantasy, this guy is pissing you off. But for a GPP Millie Maker lineup, I think he's like the perfect guy.
He went really early this year too. That was part of the problem.
Yeah, he came in with crazy expectations.
If you have Josh Allen, I think scooping up Gabe Davis in a playoff best ball makes sense though.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to take Gabe Davis.
Yep.
We're going to swing around to my tight end, aka my bring back, TJ Hawkinson. I have read reports. After I made this lineup, I have since read reports fresh within the last hour stating that we could be seeing Xavier McKinney shadowing TJ Hawkinson, which he didn't play in the last game, Sean.
Oh, okay.
And it worries me personally.
Is he the guy that got injured in Cancun?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. And he's probably going to be.
He's a beast. He'd play with a club and not take a couple of months off.
Well, he did. He came back sooner than expected, playing with a club. The people. It's so funny to watch the millennials complain about him playing with a club. Like it's either he wasn't going to play or he plays with a club. They're complaining that he can't catch the interception because he's wearing a fucking club. TJ Hawkinson 5,100. I am a little worried that if McKinney is going to shadow him, that's not. Hawkinson is a great tight end. Not the elite athlete that is going to be able to deal with that. I think that's a problem, but I'm still going to play it because I think he's still, what was it, 16 targets last time? I think he gets
insane.
I think he still gets a tremendous amount of targets.
It is one of the. I'm looking at these like smaller slates, and part of me wants to play a quarterback or play a lineup with each quarterback, just so when that first touchdown hits, my brain can start. I can
Just
see myself.
check the standings.
Well, yeah, because it'll be like, oh, look at me, I'm right at the top. I'm in the mix.
Great for content.
Yeah.
Sweat this with me, guys.
So maybe I'll have to build one lineup for each. That's
Who's your
pretty fun.
tight end?
I went to Mike Gesicki.
Oh,
I think he's going to be involved in the game plan. $3,200 against the Bills. I think the Bills maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to focus on what's up.
That's very cute.
Well, I needed to get cute a little bit. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it.
The strategy on these 6 and 4 game slates is a little tougher because it's like, oh man, you can't leave some obvious production on the table. Where are you going to get interesting? For me, it's Gabe Davis, Mike Gesicki. I think Isaiah Likely is interesting at 3,300. Hayden Hurst, to me, I just didn't feel like triple stacking.
Hold on, I'm late swapping.
Danny Bellinger.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Bellinger in there, just because of the stuff I've read about McKinney shutting down Hawkinson. I got to get off that position. So all right, so my double becomes Bellinger.
Okay.
Which, you love correlating the tight end to the. And so I'll take Richie James out. I got $6,000 for a receiver. This is what kills me. This is what I kept doing. Look at the receiver pool. It's disgusting.
Yeah, there's no one. It goes KJ Osborne 4,600, and then it shoots up to T Higgins at 6,200. There's no.
I can figure.
I guess Gabe Davis is in there too.
I can figure this out.
For me, I'll wrap up my defense. Give me the Bengals. I mean, I had the salary for it going up against Tyler Huntley, maybe an injured Tyler Huntley or Jonathan Brown. I think Bills will be the most owned defense.
Yeah. You don't think the Bengals will? I mean, people are aware of that kind of shit.
That's true, but yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm still late swapping.
All right. Tune in live while you hear Ryan adjust his lineup on air.
Still adjusting. All right. So I was
while Ryan's adjusting, make sure you guys download the SGPN app. Get in on the free playoff contest, bankroll challenge. Like I said, $500 cash and prizes up for grabs.
Oh, here we go. Are you gonna get upset if I steal your Gesicki pick? Sorry, here's the swap. You ready for this?
Yep.
I'm gonna swap up to Justin Jefferson instead of Richie James.
Oh my God.
I'm still playing a bring back.
Okay.
And again, McKinney's gonna shut down Hawkinson now. If that's actually happening, I'm terrified for Hawkinson. Bellinger's my tight end. Flex is Gesicki, and I will be playing the Dolphins defense.
Oh, okay.
Like the Dolphins defense.
Dolphins defense is good. I just didn't. For me, I didn't end up needing to get there.
Some folks want us to comment on the Cook brothers.
Yeah, Ryan, you said you were all in on Jared Cook.
I would say in playoff best ball, I have a ton of Jared Cook. He's probably one of my most owned running backs. I'm gonna have at least one position of him in the playoff challenge. I mean, there's a version of this Bills team that scores a number of rushing touchdowns, and he certainly has looked like the better back down the stretch. If again, like Sean was saying, it didn't really. There weren't a ton of situations where you needed the money. I will say this: I think the Bills and I think the 49ers. You could talk me into playing both running backs in a lineup for these abbreviated slates.
Okay.
I mean, massive leverage off of Allen and Diggs.
Yeah.
In the other situation, you're getting leverage off of Kittle. Although I do think McCaffrey will be chalky.
Benedict Dantle checking in on the chat. He's saying, "What about Dobbins? Sounds like he's in the game plan for Baltimore." Right. I do like Dobbins a lot.
Full disclosure, I didn't tell you guys my flex before I started swapping. It was Dobbins.
Okay.
Disappointed to have to take him out of the lineup, but Dobbins paired. I like Dobbins paired with Andrews paired with the Ravens defense. I might do. You know what? I'm gonna add. We're gonna do a Mr. A Snoop Huntley lineup.
Snoop. All right.
Snoop double.
Here's just rapid fire my Cousins lineup for those who are interested. Kirk Cousins, Saquon Barkley, Jeff Wilson Jr., Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Tyler Boyd, TJ Hawkinson, T Higgins, and Dolphins defense.
Oh, congratulations.
Little Jeff Wilson Dolphins defense, and no Bills in that lineup.
I'm looking
which I imagine is highly contrarian
and possibly incorrect. I have.
Well, no, I mean,
no, it was a joke. I reserved us lineups for the pregame show.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Pregame show Saturday, 1:00 Pacific, Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Taking all your live fantasy gambling questions. Count you down to kickoff tomorrow. We're going to be doing our props episode. A lot of fun props. We've already given out some in the Win Build Your Own Bet, but we got plenty more coming. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. As always, that's the place to go to get started. Get in there, and of course, download the SGPN app. Get in the playoff challenge. Tons of cash and prizes up for grabs. Going to be a lot of fun there.
Sean, that the Burrow double is the bring back of Dobbins is a nice way to bring back your Cincy double.
My Cincy double, Ryan, has no bring back.
No, I know. I'm just saying like that. That's a really nice way to get Dobbins in there.
I don't mind it, but I like where I'm at. Feeling pretty good.
You know about.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
What do I know, Ryan? I only won $200,000.
Yeah, Sean can only get in on one team wearing purple this weekend.
Skull.
Disgusting.
Skull.
Adi, clip that please and put it on social.
No, because they
Tag
might play
all
the
the Eagles shows.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Dan Jones, $1 million lineup, baby.
Kramer, let it ride.